There is finally a very interesting case in which the flag waves repeatedly by itself more than once while the astronauts are on board of the Lunar module. This is the Apollo 14 mission at the end of the second and last lunar excursion. The two astronauts are getting ready to re-enter the LEM when one of them accidentally trips into the television cable, causing the camera to fall to the ground. After a few seconds, the same astronaut approaches the camera and puts it back in position, while his colleague begins climbing the ladder of the LEM. After this, the first astronaut heads back to the LEM. From this moment on, no one will touch the camera again. The first astronaut completes some loading operations by means of a pulley, then climbs the ladder as well. As the two astronauts close up the LEM and prepare for departure, the camera continues to take in the empty scene. 15 minutes go by without anything happening at all. But then at some point, without anyone possibly touching it, we notice the flag waving and partially entering frame on the right side of the picture. After 15 seconds, the flag moves in the other direction, returning to the original position. After another 20 seconds, the flag enters frame again, as if a light breeze were moving it. The flag remains visible for about half a minute, then disappears again to the right. A couple of minutes later, the same thing happens for the third time. The flag enters frame from the right, it exits, then waves back in, and eventually disappears from sight. Both astronauts are already in the LEM, and there's no one else around who could have touched the flag. Using this white object as a reference, we can establish that the frame does not pan from left to right, but it remains fixed. In other words, it is not the camera moving sideways, it's the flag actually waving as it enters and exits frame by itself. Some debunkers have suggested that the waving of the flag could be caused by emissions of gas from the LEM during the depressurization process. This explanation does not stand up for at least two reasons. First of all, any ejected gas would immediately disperse its pressure into the vacuum of space and would not be able to create the turbulence needed to move the flag. Secondly, we have seen that the flag always moves initially from right to left. In other words, it always moves towards the LEM before going in the opposite direction. In no case, therefore, any hypothetical gases expelled from the LEM could attract the flag towards the LEM itself. Given that the astronauts have been in the LEM for at least 15 minutes and that there is no one else around who could have touched the flag, can you suggest anything different from a displacement of air on the set to explain the flag's repeated movements?